What's going on, guys? I'm Seth, and today we are going to go over the new Creality Scan update, as well as some of the abilities of the new Creality Sermoon S1 scanner. So the first thing we're going to do is I am going to show you the new features of Creality Scan. And we're going to go into infrared mode because we're using the Sermoon S1. So big difference between the Sermoon S1 and the Raptor X, if you guys were wondering, is that the Sermoon S1 cannot do color in blue laser mode. The Raptor X can do color in blue laser mode. So we're going to go into infrared mode because I want to show you the new color. Now over here, if you select body or large, body will automatically enable the wide angle field of view. But if you select large, you can select wide angle. So we are scanning my daughter. So I am going to select the wide angle view. All right, we're gonna click on preview, which has been moved up here.
Okay, Daddy.
And are you gonna pose?
Yep.
All right, so she is standing on a turntable, face this way. Very good. And then we will scan you and then turn on the turntable and do it that. Well, we gotta turn on the turntable, okay?
It makes me dizzy.
All right, it won't make you dizzy. It's going very slow. So the first thing is we're going to scan the bottom of her to the top because, well, it's easier that way. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll tell you when. All right, don't move. Oop, we messed up already. It went red. So what we do is delete. All right, we'll start the scan again. All right. You know what? Let's start with her face, and then she can relax her face. Okay, so we'll start the scan right here. All right, and we will do this. Okay. We lost tracking, so we'll just go around. Let's let the scanner catch up. We want to get the back. All right, let's see. All right, so we kind of messed up the scan here, as you can see. So we can just click the undo. Yes, we're done. We can click the undo button, and that will have fixed that. We're gonna have a few holes in the head area, but the reason why I'm doing this, and I needed her, was to show you this over here. We are able to, if I resume the scan, we could see the texture. So she already left, but you could turn on texture in the quality map. So she's back. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna trash this scan.
Daddy, can I tell them something?
What?
I have a new profile on YouTube, so if you guys want to see it, it's all about K-pop Demon Hunters, one of my favorite people that I'm gonna be on Halloween, which is Rumi. My dad. The reason why my dad is scanning me is because he needs to print my sword from Rumi, and he's gonna make me rainbow patterns. So yeah.
All right. So are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Tell me. All right. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start scanning. All right, so we can turn on the texture map and we'll need the color, so we'll put that on.
You look like a crazy man trying to sneak into a museum.
Okay, so that scan's done.
Oopsie.
So this is what her texture will look like.
Why did my face look like
So
this,
we're gonna
Daddy?
finish this.
Did my face look like this?
What is this?
And then we're gonna crop out the stuff down here. All right.
Dad, I'm hungry.
Jesus Christ. All right. So we're going to delete this over here, this little floating stuff. All right, that's fine. And we're gonna go ahead and fuse this. Oh, no, we're gonna check OK and then fuse it. All right. So we're gonna keep it as default. All right, let's see how she turned out. Oh, she turned out really well. I love it.
Can I see?
Come take a look, my love. Look how well you turned out. We obviously, if I was printing this, we would need to clean up some of the file, but we're not. So we're gonna one-click mesh it and see how the color turned out.
Teletubby a bath because.
All right, go ahead. Goodbye.
Yay!
All right, so we're fusing her and adding color to her. And then we'll move on to depth of the single line scanner. Okay, guys, we're almost done. It's meshing, it's mapping the color. Come on. Go a little faster, please. It's not using that much of RAM. I've got 110 gigs free. All right, and the color mapping is done. Okay. It didn't come out that bad. Her eye, though. But I mean, it came out pretty well. I mean, I'm more concerned about the mesh, how the mesh came out, opposed to how she came out with color. I do love the color. I just don't work with color often. I usually just work with the solid mesh, and this mesh is 100% acceptable. I love it. It's fantastic. All right, moving on. We have a few items here. So the first item, we have two different flashlights, and they have different depths. So this flashlight, let me go ahead and zero this out. This has a depth of 65 millimeters. All right. So let's go ahead and scan this. We're going to go ahead and scan this. We're going to start a new scan. We'll go home. We'll keep her. We're going to name this depth test. Okay. I just moved the program to a faster hard drive because the wide angle scanner needs faster write speeds to keep up with the program in my computer. So I have it on the fastest hard drive I have available. We're going to switch over to blue laser mode. We'll keep it at 0.5. I'm not really interested in that. We're going to start off with parallel lines because I want to scan the side of it first. All right, so we're gonna scan the, oops, let me get those out of the way. All right. Oh, that's single line, that's cross. All right, hold on. I messed up. Let me delete that. All right, let's start this again. Point cloud, parallel lines. We'll start this. Why isn't it scanning the flashlight, sir? All right, let me. Oh, it's not even scanning this. Okay, hold on. Technical difficulties here. We will pause. All right, so the issue is that the scanner can't see the black very well. So I have some scanner spray. I'm just going to put on some gloves, spray this down quickly. Okay, so I'm using A-Sub. It goes away pretty quickly. So I sprayed that down, very good, and we'll start another scan. Okay. Okay. We'll start it. All right. All right, so now we're in parallel line mode. As the turntable is turning, we are getting the sides of this flashlight. Okay. And then we're going to test the depth. This is about 65 millimeters deep. So let's get the complete circumference of the flashlight, and then we'll go in for the depth. Okay, we'll pause the turntable there. Clean up some of that mesh down there. Okay. Okay, and then clean up some of this mesh over here. All right, so we're going to go into single line mode and now scan this hole. Okay. I'll use parallel mode to clean up the walls a bit. Let's see if we can, okay. Okay. Well, we're gonna clean up this a little bit. So let's finish. Oops, I didn't want to finish that. I wanted to clean up the unnecessary stuff. Okay, so we're gonna continue scanning. Single line mode. You know what? Let me try a different 3D spray. Because the spray's coming out quickly. Okay, so I used a different spray on this one. We're gonna delete this and we're only going to scan in single line mode. We'll bump this up to 0.5 and we'll see how this works. Okay. All right, so let's start the depth. Again, it's about, oh, let me scan the size first. All right, we'll turn the turntable. Yeah, I've got the turntable spinning at a very slow speed. All right. Okay, so the outside is now scanned. Alright, so the outside of the flashlight is scanned. We'll go to parallel mode. So go into single line mode and start scanning. We'll stop the scanner there. Okay, guys. I can't really see down in that hole. Let me zoom in. Let me see if that helps. That, see if that helps a bit. Okay, guys, I am scanning the bottom. I see there. Okay. Okay. Oops. Okay, so I'm just scanning the bottom here. Get some of that wall. See if I can get some of that wall in. Okay, let's see what that does. Let's clean this up and see how that turns out. Just so you know, the flashlight's hole is 23 millimeters wide. So it didn't capture that. All right, hold on. Okay, let's didn't capture that. Didn't capture that at all. All right, let's do this. Let's see what it did pick up. So we're going to do now I'm thinking it could be the material on the inside. See, it did get the bottom there. It would be nice if I could just measure it from here, but I would have to go into another program to measure the depth. Hold on, let's go, not instant meshes. I want mesh inspector. Okay, and then let me open up this in here. Okay, so let me. Alright, so here we are in Mesh Inspector, and we're just going to take the measurement from this point to this point. which is 69 millimeters. That's actually not that bad. Let me measure it again. Okay, to the metal down here. Six millimeters. It's about, oh, let me, that's 69 millimeters, huh? That is right on point, 69 millimeters. So the depth is actually pretty accurate. Now I will tell you, it took forever to get that much point cloud data, but it's fine. We will take a look at another scan. All right, we're going to do a bigger one. This one has a depth of, it's only 10 millimeters more, but it's a wider hole. This hole is 27 millimeters. All right, much bigger flashlight here. Okay, so we're going to go to blue laser mode, single line. Oh, let me spray this down with... Oops. We're going to get the outside first. Okay. We'll scan the outside of this flashlight. All right, so this is 10 millimeters deeper, this flashlight. But it's also wider, the hole on top. So let's see how this one does. All right, so, okay, so the outside's done. Let's go to single line mode and see what we can get here. You know what? This one is scanning a lot faster with the bigger hole. I'll tell you that right now. I scanned the bottom of this flashlight pretty quickly. So it looks like the scanner has more difficulty with smaller holes and depth than just depth. Alright, but let's see where that brought us. We'll finish this off. Okay. Okay. Very good. All right, so let us bring this over into Mesh Inspector. Okay, so we will open up right here. Oops. And then we'll reset here. And then from here to the top of here, 70. Perfect. So, I mean, it looks like the depth is almost on point, and we have a better image point data from this scan from the first scan over here. I'm actually curious to see how it looks fused. So let me fuse that. Bring you back into here while we wait for the fusion. All right, so the next item I have is going to be a water bottle. Yes, big water bottle. We use it as a vase though. So let's see, that's all working good, very good, very good. And then we have this one. Okay. Just putting the batteries back into the flashlight before they get lost. All right. Okay. Okay. So the next one we have is this water bottle. Let me just spray it with some spray so it can see on the inside. It's fairly large. All right, so we're gonna go to new scan. 0.5 is fine, and we will get this going. Oh, I forgot to measure the depth, but we'll get to the depth later. Okay. All right. We will scan the outside. We'll put on the cross. All right, so the outside is almost done. Okay, and it is. Okay, so we just complete the outside. A little bit more, a little bit more. I've got the turntables turning very slowly today, guys. Sorry. All right, so let's change the mode up to single laser mode and fire it down that hole. Okay. So I cannot scan the bottom of this. Okay, yeah, so I'm not scanning the bottom of this. It's just scanning nonsense at this point. So this is very deep. I didn't think it was going to scan this, but this is over 150 millimeters deep. Okay, so we're gonna hang on to that. We are gonna try a different bottle with different texture. This is a plastic bottle, about the same depth, but a very much smaller opening at the end. Let's get the side first, of course. All right. So we'll just cover up the side and then just blast this down here. So it is not scanning the bottom of this either. Okay, that's fine. We will move on to our next item. Okay, next up is a coffee mug. All right, so let's go new scan. This cross scan works a lot better than the Raptor X, I believe. Much better than the Raptor X, actually. I'm actually pretty confident. Actually, this cross scan scans the holes very nicely. But we're not here for that. So we're gonna go and we're gonna delete this. We want to know the stop. We want to know the depth of the single line scan. So let us start this scan. We'll get the side. We'll switch it over to single line and then see how deep it can go with a wider mouth.
So why did it smell so bad?
Because it's got a 3D scanning stuff on it, my love.
Ew, that smells bad.
Yes, I know it smells bad, my love. Alright, so there is the cup. Let me... Alright, now we're in single line mode. So single line mode could penetrate an entire cup if the mouth is wide enough. It will scan. It scans this cup nicely. So if you're scanning like headers or a camshaft, it's going to be able to scan it very nicely. Even door holes, I think. You know what? That's a great idea, Seth. Let me go ahead and get something that would... Alright. Alright, so we're going to test to see how big... Oop, let's delete this. So we have another cup here. It's a much bigger cup. I want to see how far the single line scan can. Alright, let's see here. Alright. Okay, so it lost tracking. But you know what? Even with very... Just cut. Gotta get the little markers on the edge. I mean, this is a deep cup. I'll tell you that right now. This is a very deep cup. Okay, this is a very deep cup. So the depth of this scanner is actually pretty good. I mean, look how big this thing is. It's bigger than my my whole caliper itself. So this is over 150 millimeters, and the single line scanner can easily penetrate the 150 millimeter mark if the mouth is wide enough. Now I do want to try one more thing with a. Okay, we are going to. Okay, so what we're going to do is I am going to do this. I want to see this, okay? We're going to go to new scan, we're going to go to infrared, we're going to go to large, wide angle, and we're going to scan my entire desk. All right, it's a little messy, so you know, don't mind my messy desk. See, it kind of went like that. We should just go back, 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 back. And then we can continue our scan again and try that again, like this. And then we'll bring it like this. Oop. We lost tracking again. So we can just hit the back button, start the scan again. Let it find its tracking. All right, like that. Swing it around this side. All right, so that's my desk. Oh man, that's actually pretty cool. Let me see if I can scan the screen. All right, perfect. All right, we're gonna. This is pretty radical. Okay. We're going to finish this. I mean, the scanner worked very fast. I mean, it took this scan pretty quickly. I mean, you saw how fast it did it. But yeah, you can see the little bits and bobs. Let's see how it looks fused. Okay. And click apply. All right, so after that, we have another thing I would like to scan before I end this video. And it is a very holy with very tiny holes, a Raspberry Pi 4 case. And we are going to scan this standing up, so I'm going to need a card. Okay. Okay, all right. Let me get this angle set up nicely for me. It fell. It's It's not going to work like that, so maybe it'll work like sideways like that. Very good. Alright, so need a few markers on here. Okay, we're just waiting for the program to fuse my desk. I'm getting the last scan set up as we're waiting. Okay, put this down there, put this over here like that. Very good. All right, so it's 64%. Okay. I'm gonna pause you guys and then bring you guys back when it's done. All right, so the desk is has finished rendering. It's actually pretty good. I got my two scans. This is my and microfiber towel to wipe that large screen of mine that gets dirty often. You can see a bunch of bit and bobs for 3D printing and scanning. Yes, I love it. I love it, guys. This is not a bad scanner. Okay, anyway, we're gonna get rid of these scans. Okay. All right. Get rid of this scan as well. All right, so we're doing a Raspberry Pi case. We're gonna use blue laser mode. We're gonna do it at 0.25. We're gonna start with cross lines, and then we're gonna go back and do the single lines. And I'll show you how to scan how I scan this at least. Oh, we should have excluded the base. All right. Okay, so let us see what we have here. Nope. We're gonna have to finish that. Going to cross lines. Okay. All right, so we're going to finish up. Actually, it didn't come out that bad. We're going to finish up the scan over here. All right, we're going to close this up. So let's get rid of everything else that we don't need. All right, so we'll inverse that, and then we'll grab this. All right, so that's that. These holes actually came out pretty good. I'm kind of, well, they came out pretty good. All right, so let's fuse, oops, cancel. Let's go ahead and click OK. We're gonna fuse this 0.25. And we want 35% noise removal. And then we'll go ahead and hit apply. All right, we're gonna flip it around. And we're going to grab the holes. All right, we're just gonna grab the holes. So we're gonna go to single line mode and go. Oh, by the way, we should probably do this laying down. Okay. Oops. Let us. And now, before I wasn't able to get over here and behind these little nubs over here and on this side where the screw posts go in, I was never able to get behind it before with my Raptor X, which I'm able to do easily with this scanner. But we want to concentrate on the holes over here. And we're just looking to see how well it scans these tiny holes on functional prints. Okay, so I just want to get a little bit more of this blue before we stop the scan. Make sure I got all the smaller holes, which are up here and down here, covered. All right, let's stop it there. Okay, let's see how it captured those. All right, we're going to, of course, clean up the print. Okay. All right, so let us fuse this 0.25. We want 35%. Click apply. It didn't come out very well. Okay, what we'll do is we'll delete the scan. We will new scan. We will go 0.25. We'll do parallel lines first, and then will get the single line scanner. All right, so we're starting off with the parallel lines. Okay. Alright guys, I'm trying to get this second row done, but it doesn't seem like it wants to, let me try going this way. Alright, so it looks like this scanner, even with the single line mode, still kind of struggles with very tiny holes, it looks. I mean, it did it better than the Raptor X, in my opinion, but I mean, I feel like it should be a lot easier. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I'm not using the right setting. Maybe I'll try it with 0.5 millimeter setting this time. But let's see how this scan turns out. This is at 0.25 millimeters. I mean, it's still closed up the small ones. I'll tell you what, it does do a little bit better with the bigger holes. Let's try it with the 0.5 millimeter resolution. Alright, so we're now scanning at 0.5. Oh, let's do that first. No, the 0.5 way too big. Okay, so if I go smaller, the problem is if I go smaller, it takes longer to scan. So even if I go to like 1.5, and then if I scan it now, it's going to take a lot longer to scan, but it should be able, let's see, get the, alright, get the most of that scanned, switch over to single laser mode, try to get the rest of those holes. I'm concerned about these holes over here. These are the smallest holes on the board. So I'm trying to grab these over here. But I also want to cover up the, see how, alright, so we're doing this over here. We're closing up these. Oop, okay, the green. Alright, getting more of that blue. More of this is yellow now. Very good. Okay, let's see how that turned out. Okay, let's use that. 35%. Okay, so, all right, so not that bad. I mean, it does scan the holes better than the Raptor X. I can now see the shape of the hole I would have to make in CAD when I would have to rebuild this. But it's not bad. It's not great. You know, I'm not gonna run to the closest store to buy the Sermoon S1 just for the holes. It does a great job at scanning deep holes as long as the mouth of the hole is big. If the mouth of the hole is small, then the scanner does have a little issues getting into the deeper crevice areas. But I'll tell you what, I have a Raspberry Pi on the my turntable right now, and I'll tell you what, the scanner is really good at scanning areas that are very narrow, like here. So for example, if I were to scan this case, right, I want to scan this case. We can scan it at point 5, no, 0.35. All right, and we'll start this, right? Now, this is where the scanner shines and outperforms any other scanner. So if we bring this back into parallel mode, we start to scan out, right? Oh, man. So I've got to tell you that the scanner scans a lot better than the Raptor X. Like right off the bat. And it just performs better. I feel that it scans better than the Raptor X. It can scan depth a lot better, even on the cross mode and parallel mode. It grabs these pretty well. So this is where the single line scanner comes into play. Right here, right? So I can scan these very small crevices, as you can see on the top. I'm closing up those small little holes. and it's just grabbing that very small bit of data that I just couldn't get with like a Raptor X. So like in these little small tight areas, like I can flip the scanner around this way, right? And now I can grab this corner. See how I'm closing up that hole in the middle? All right, and now I'm gonna go for the second one below it. I'm gonna try to close up that hole. And then above that, all right, so it does do these little areas, like it grabs little areas much better. So we can scan this whole board without a problem and without any holes that I have to go in and repair later on in CAD or in, you know, however I decide to clean up my mesh. But look at that. It grabs in between tight gaps very nicely. And this is why you would want the scanner. For this single scan mode, not for the depth of a hole, but to grab very tight spaces. This is where it performs, you know. I just, with the Raptor X, I just couldn't get this board. You can't get this board with all this detail because of these very tight spaces on the board itself. So, for example, these areas that were patched up here, this is a very hard to get area, right? Because it's small, it's tight, and you know, if you don't have that single line mode, you're trying to cram 7 lines into that small little gap here. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this. Let's see how this scan turns out, because this is a great scan that I feel this is a great scan that, you know, a top view of the Raspberry Pi without removing the Raspberry Pi. All right, so we'll invert it, delete that. All right, so check this out, guys. Look at this. Like, I would never have been able to get a nice clean scan with this detail in my scans with the Raptor X, you know, and it's just because the space is so small for 7 lasers to fit, or a cross laser to get into that small gap. It's just almost nearly impossible. So this is the first time I'm actually scanning this upper corner, this whole upper piece up here, because it's in a tight space with these heat sinks that are raised, so the lasers have a hard time grabbing it. And it grabbed it pretty nicely. Like, look at it. See, that's the heatsink area. Obviously, I'm going to have to clean up the mesh a lot for this, but it did a good job just scanning from a top-down view. So, would I recommend the scanner? I would. It's a good scanner if you're doing detailed parts. You know, this is definitely going to help me in the auto business with the auto body shops, because the doors have holes that I need to scan. Because if you ever looked at a door, there's a whole separate piece that's connected to the handle that protrudes out of the panel. So the auto body shops want that in detail, and it's very holey. It has deep holes in it, and I think this would be great for that. Now, would I get rid of my Raptor X for the Sermoon S1? Probably not. It's really, it's a give and take. Like, I like my colored blue lasered textured models, because then I can throw it in Blender and then color it for real using the colors that were on the model itself. So on the Raptor X, I would be able to see this in full color, which we can't do with the Sermoon S1. So that is one kind of downfall of the scanner. I don't know why they didn't allow the color mode for the blue laser, since they already had it for the Raptor X. Why they got rid of it, who knows? I liked it. I'll still use the Raptor X for that case. But for the Sermoon S1, it does a good job with holes. It does a good job with tight areas, and it does a great job grabbing those smaller areas that we couldn't get. Like, see, look at this over here. It grabbed this hole over here where the two cases connect. I just would not be able to get that on the Raptor X. That I would not have gotten. So yeah, that is my honest opinion on a Raptor X. It does a fantastic job in scanning people. Matter of fact, I feel that it scanned my daughter in half the time that it usually would have took me. So all in all, I mean, it's a great scanner. You know, if you have the Raptor X, if you need that single line scanner, then get the Sermoon S1. But if you don't need that single line scanner, then stick with the Raptor X. The Raptor X is a great product as well. If you're going from like a Raptor Pro or a Raptor to the Sermoon S1, it is a huge upgrade. The Sermoon S1 scans a lot faster than the Raptor series, even the Raptor X. It scans about a half a minute faster on all my scans, depending on what I'm doing. And I think you guys have a great product here if you... So that is my depth test review of the Sermoon S1. I will do... we'll be going to the auto body shop sometime this week, and we're going to be testing the wide area scan for vehicles when scanning car parts. So we'll be testing that coming soon. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I hope this helped you guys.